Good morning and happy Thursday. Well, today's shower thought is going to be on being present. And I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to become more present in your environment. And you may think, I am present. Well, Spirit showed me today that 99.9% of the population on this earth do not live in present moment. And what do I mean by that? Well, when you are experiencing an emotion that then takes your brain to what if mode, before something has even happened, then you're not living in the present moment. Or if your brain takes you to creating this entire scenario of, well, if I don't do this, then this may happen, or this is going to happen. And remember, I've mentioned before about creating that movie in your head. Well, when we're creating that movie in our head, we're not living in the present moment. Present moment is constantly changing though. So right now we're in the present moment. And now we're in the present moment. So see, the present moment is always evolving to the next second, to the next second. But the more we can be present, especially when that part of our brain, I call it the critter brain, starts creating a what if scenario, when you're in that present moment, that's when we're being asked to come back home, come back to self. And how do we do that? These are 5 things that we can do. The first thing is with our breath. Why is that important? When we take long, deep breaths and just sitting quietly and breathing in, expanding the belly, doing about 5 to 7 breath cycles of just focusing, breathing in through our nose and exhaling out of our mouth. And there's different methods, but this is the method that I'm going to talk about with controlling the brain, bringing it back to the present moment, and focusing in the heart space. Focusing in the heart space, we create this coherence between the brain and the heart. Also, what happens when we come back to breath and come back to self is we trigger that parasympathetic, I can't speak this morning, parasympathetic nerve response in our brain. Now, our brain is either in the fight or flight, which is the sympathetic nerve response, or the parasympathetic nerve response, which is our relaxation. And we get to the parasympathetic nerve response with breath. So that is going to put our bodies in that calm state. When we put our bodies in that calm state and our brain is getting blood to the frontal cortex, we can start thinking and feeling more in a rational state. The critical thinking gets turned on because we're getting blood to the frontal part of our brain. So that's very key for people to understand. Most people don't even realize that. And we give away our power to our emotions and the lack of breathing. That's why breathing deeply, not shallow, but breathing deeply is so important. Step 2, notice what are the feelings that are coming up when you're in that thought pattern. It's most likely it's an old thought pattern, or it's the whole worry. This is how anxiety is created. We do this to ourselves by our thoughts. So notice the emotions that come up for you. Recognize them, don't judge them. Get curious with them. Why? There's no judgment in curiosity. It's just wanting to understand and explore more. I have always been a curious person. I've always asked lots of questions. And yes, I've even had people tell me, all your question asking is annoying. Why is it annoying? I'm a curious person. I like to expand my awareness. Why is that important? We take our power back when we do that. We don't become box thinkers. We start using that critical brain that each and every one of us was given for a reason. So, isn't it time that we start using it? That brings us back to the present moment. Step 3. When you're feeling the emotion and you've gotten curious with it, it's always a message for us. What is that emotion telling me? It's like shining the flashlight. What is it trying to get my attention on? Is it true? How can I move past it? You move past it with breath. Breathe into it. Notice what it feels like from a place of curiosity. And then close your eyes and breathe through the emotions, dissolving it from your body. Our emotions and our bodies are designed to not hold on to the emotions, but move the emotions through us. When we attach onto it, which that's when we get all up in our head and we're not letting the emotions move through us. It's like we're holding on to it like an inner tube. And then we're holding on to the side of the bank and we're just anchoring it in our nervous system. Well, that keeps us stuck and it keeps us living the same pattern over and over and over again, which is not living in the present moment. It's keeping us stuck in the past. Step 4, reframing. Once you've moved those emotions through you, sit back and go, how can I look at my experience in a different light? Not from the point of I'm a victim, but what am I to learn from this experience? What am I to learn from these emotions? How can I reframe it to empower me? So 2 years ago when I started this journey and I couldn't get out of my head, and I kept on thinking of the situation over and over and over and over and over and over again, I ended up was not diagnosed, but I felt it in my body, clinically depressed. Now, I'm not one for medicine, not pharmaceutical medicines. I'm more of the natural, what God gave us from plants. And I noticed that I was doing it to myself. So as with my journey, I've had to learn how to reframe my experience, but not only in the brain, but in my body. So I could release the emotions that were created in my body from the experience. So I looked at, and I always felt this, but I had to create it in my body by reframing it in the sense of this all happened so I could be here to serve humanity to the best of my ability, so I can help them navigate through whatever it is that they're now navigating through. So that's how I've turned an uncomfortable situation into an empowering, purposeful situation. And then last but not least, ask yourself, instead of experiencing what you're currently experiencing that's causing all these emotions after you've moved them all through you, you've made space in your body, if you've done all these steps, to anchor in an emotion that you do want to experience. So from the viewpoint of what would I like to experience? So for me, what I did was started focusing on what do I want to experience in my marriage, in my relationships, in my purpose. And I created from the standpoint of what I want to experience, not that of what I don't want to experience. That was a tricky one because we've all trained our brains to focus on what we don't want versus what we do want. So that's going to take some time, but pay attention. Are you creating from that lens of what you don't want, which you're just going to keep on experiencing, or the lens of what you do want to experience? So comment down below, what came up for you? Do you need some help with that reframing piece? Message me. I'll be more than happy to give you some pointers a little bit deeper on one-on-one to help you move past that. But if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, because we are all here to help one another. And the more likes and the more subscriptions I have on my page, this information gets out there. Remember, everything is algorithms, and together with these algorithms, we can help other people that need to hear this message. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.